How I look beefing with a about a nick. How I look arguing with a goofy on Twitter. How I look, okay? That is the saddest part of this whole debacle we are going to get into because man, How I Look is one of the best songs on Glorilla's debut album, Glorious. Oh, I love that album. Okay. Glorilla really did her thing, and Megan the Stallion did her thing as well on her verse. Both of them ate that song so bad. One of like the best collaborations, I said it in my analysis on Glorilla's album when it came out. I'll say it now and I'm gonna keep saying it. Glorilla had the best female rap collabs of 2024, and they're all on her album. All right, nobody is saying that, nobody talking about it because they on the motherfucking album, bitch, and they on album cuts. Y'all know procedure with Lotto, okay? And I was a Lotto hater, but they ate, okay? Glorilla ate anyway. If you ain't seen my analysis on Glorilla's album, I will leave that below for you in the comments because that is a video that I am super proud of. And of course, I love that album. So definitely go and listen to it because it's going to make sense, right? And like everything I say about Glorilla will make sense after you see my review on her work. Because at the end of the day, yes, we talk about business, we're going to get into the drama, but if you want to understand why I cover people the way I do or why my perspective is what it be, then it's important to know about what I think about that artist and their music and their artistry, which is one of the reasons why there is some strife between the two rap stars, Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla. We knew them to have a good relationship. Megan Thee Stallion took Glorilla on tour in 2024. Now, a lot of people feel like Glorilla overshadowed Megan on her tour and that a lot of people came to see Glorilla. And honestly, after Glorilla got off tour with Megan, she then did her own tour, okay, in the same year, 2025. Now, her solo tour wasn't an arena tour, but she still did what she had to do to make sure that she solidified her core fan base. And I'm super proud of Glorilla for that. Like, she's just always working and she just always has a good spirit, and she seems to have a good work ethic, and she seems to have a good team around her. And if your music is good, like for me, like that's the root of all good. Like we say, it's the root of all evil. If your music is good, in my opinion, you can get away with a lot of things. All right. So let's get into the tea. So it has been strife between Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla. The thing about these ladies is that, they don't really F with each other like that. A lot of people hate Nicki Minaj because she doesn't seem to have really good relationships with female rappers over time, like we discussed previously in my recent video on her unfollowing Bia. However, the thing about Nicki that I can fuck with is that you will know if Nicki likes you or does not like you, all right? Where in comparison, a lot of these other women came together probably because they did not like Nicki Minaj, and it's something that they had in common. Plus, it was good for their marketing, for their teams, and for their collaborations and stuff like that. We saw Megan trash Cardi and then transition to go and work with her not one but two times, right? And now their relationship has really fizzled out. But it's something that a lot of people don't know about. We don't talk about because we don't see a lot of clues on it, and neither of them speak on it directly. Who watched Cardi B's recent interview that she did for her album release on the Breakfast Club where she talked about her relationship with Megan Thee Stallion? If you did, let me know what she said about Megan because I did not watch that interview. Okay. So a couple of months ago, Megan got mad because Glorilla reposted a post on her story on Instagram that had Tory Lanez music attached to it. And we know the history between Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Megan immediately unfollowed her, no call, no questions asked. A lot of people talked about it, and we talked about it here on the channel. And it's important that you go and listen to what I said during that altercation because it is building on everything, and a lot of people feel like that's where the strife in their relationship started. However, because of how it happened, right? Where I said that Megan immediately unfollowed Glorilla. I think after that, they had a conversation and probably got back cool again and probably refollowed each other. I don't know. You go check. But the point is that for Megan to immediately unfollow Glorilla while she did that, whether it was a mistake or not, tells you that Megan was already feeling some type of way, right? It was too quick. You didn't call her. You didn't give her the benefit of the doubt. And most importantly, you didn't give her a conversation for her to understand why that may have been hurtful to you and yada, 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 yada. Now, some people feel like, yo, being friends with Megan might be exhausting because you can't do nothing with Tory Lanez. You can't support Tory Lanez. You can't support any of her ops. And honestly, I think some people who I saw saying that on Twitter might be Barb's. And we should be the last one talking about, like, oh, if you fuck with that person, you can't fuck with me, because we know how our queen acts, right? And we said that if Nicki doesn't like you, she's very upfront about it, right? And that's something that we respect about her. So I can't necessarily judge Megan, even though I may not agree that, oh my gosh, all she did was play Tory Lanez music. She didn't work with him or anything like that, right? But at the end of the day, I don't care because I'm not a fan of either one of these girls. So it doesn't really matter to me. Recently, both women, both Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion, are now in relationships with men who play basketball. And Glorilla has been receiving a lot of criticism from fans of Megan Thee Stallion who feel like Glorilla has really taken Megan Thee Stallion's whole aura and aesthetic. This to me is debatable because I don't know what Megan's aura and aesthetic is. Megan just dresses like a SLUT, which a lot of us can agree with. Oh, shout out to Herbert in the comments. All right. I can't wait to see what you got to say about this. And Glorilla definitely has come into her own skin. She definitely got some work done on her body, and she definitely does show her body more, right? As we can see. But at the end of the day, like I don't really feel like Glorilla really took Megan's style. Now, the issue that we're going to explore is that their stylists are going at it. So in the past, Megan Thee Stallion was working with EJ the stylist, and they stopped working together. We actually don't really know why. I don't think I know why, but because Megan's first team, Megan revamped her whole first team after the situation with Tory Lanez went to trial. She revamped everybody with the exception of her management team. Okay. And I think it's because a lot of people just know the truth and they just can't, like we just can't work with each other anymore. But I don't know why, once again. Anyway, the stylist testified for the prosecution, but to me his testimony didn't really help either side. To me it helped more of he was the one who was more transparent, and I think he was, I ain't even going to get into it here, but the things he said, and I'm going to link that for you, if you didn't see that either, because it's important to hear what I said about EJ's testimony for Megan and Tori's trial, right? But after that, their relationship is clearly like not good. I don't think they have any relationship or whatever. But at the end of the day, this stylist was still on tour with them because Glorilla went on tour with Megan, right? All right, cool. And the industry is real small. So everybody, be in the cut together, be talking, be gossiping and shit like that. So what happened? Both of them have men who play basketball. Glorilla's been popping up to basketball games. So has Megan. Glorilla popped up to a basketball game recently with her stylist EJ, and here are fans criticizing Glorilla for dressing like Megan. So this fan says, not she has her own Kellan now, right? Because Kellan is not only Megan Thee Stallion's hairstylist, but he's like her gay best friend. They go everywhere. They're always everywhere together, right? So Kellan responds and says, you ain't no Kellan. And I think this is reminiscent of what Cardi B said in regards to like Armand Wiggins or something. So then EJ responds, right, directly to Kellan and says, I could not give one, two, three fucks about anything y'all ever got going on, baby. You should know that out of all people. Never gave up to be one, all right? I never gave up to be a Kellan. Please, let's not forget, it would be no Kellan and Meg if it wasn't for me. Let's be humble, babes. So that signifies to me that like EJ is probably the reason that Kellan and Meg work together. I don't know if they introduced them, but he's saying that you wouldn't be there if it wasn't for me. So that's real interesting, but that's besides the point. What's the point here is that both stylists on both sides are so comfortable at making their stances on each other known that they're doing it on public on social media, and they know how the fans are. They know about the temperament in between the fans, between Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla. So did Megan tell Kellan to respond to that tweet? Did Glorilla say, yo, it's cool if you go back and throw a jab at him or whatever? Here is some more background information as to how this quote unquote beef has started. Hold up, let's get the timeline straight. Glorilla and Brandon Ingram, her current boyfriend, right, were public long before Clay and Megan, right? Because they want to claim that Glorilla is copying Megan for getting a basketball player too. So let's drop the copying athletes narrative. Half the rap game is doing it, so who cares? But Kelan, why the drama? You know you'll never get Megan to reveal the real reason she's iced out Glow. And please don't say it was the Tory repost. Megan unfollowed Glow 2.3 seconds after. No call, no DM, even after they were just on tour together. That's a major sign it was already deeper. The secret, the real animosity, Glowilla's rising star. I think the truth is that people started putting Glow over Meg. The media ran with it, saying fans only came to the tour because of Glorilla. Now, I've seen responses from fans who were actually at Megan's tour saying that this wasn't really true. Instead of being the adult and shutting down the noise, Megan fed the beef and created this secret tension. The final straw, when a network posted Glorilla's pic instead of Megan's with a shady caption, and Megan's friend publicly shaded Glorilla. Glorilla didn't control the network's mistake, yet the hotties dragged her like it was her fault. Fashion feud or just an upgrade. Now, the copy and talk, please. Megan is no fashion girl. She's not on look boards. And here's the kicker: EJ, who styles Glorilla, is dressing her better than he ever did Megan. That's a fact. Is the real jealousy coming from seeing your stylist elevate your former collaborator? Didn't EJ also style Glow while she was on Megan's tour? Spill the tea. Megan has a longer track record of falling out with people than Glow, and everyone else has an issue. She has an issue with. At some point, her and her fans need to get some accountability, and I completely agree. And these are things that I have said about Megan Thee Stallion during the Tory Lanez situation, is that she also has a track record of falling out with people. The thing about Meg is that she is very passive aggressive. She doesn't really speak on anything. And if something happens, she leaves that other person out to get dragged, even if that's not what really happened in the real situation. And I always say it, I get on Nicki for this as well, for being the common denominator in a lot of fallouts. But Megan has the same traits. She's just quiet about it. But that's why you really got to pay attention to her, though. Now, Glorilla did like a shady reply. All right. So look at Megan and her team picking with Glorilla in real time, all because she posted a quote that had Tory Lane's music attached to it months ago. That girl has a very dark spirit. Sheesh. So this person responds saying, "We all know she started being bitter after she was outsold by Glorilla." Why Glorilla liked the tweet? We all know she started being bitter, bruh. So you got to remember that Megan's last album sold 64,000 units in her first week, whereas Glorilla's first album sold 69,000 units first week. And it was a gag because, once again, Glorilla was still kind of in her rookie year. It was her debut album, and Megan had been in the game longer, and once again, even took Glorilla on tour. So I can understand how Megan may have felt some type of way about Glorilla being hotter than her. And not only did her album sell more, but people just truly enjoyed Glorilla's music more. Her beats are always banging. She be talking about different things. If you really listen to Glorilla's music, she doesn't just only talk about partying and sex and all of that stuff like that. Whereas we all can agree that Megan's vocabulary, I mean, she's really like a one trick pony. And when people don't identify with that, it means that Megan doesn't really have the public like Glorilla does, right? Glorilla is kind of well liked, whereas Megan has more of a tracker record. She has a track record of being controversial, being in fallouts and stuff like that, not taking accountability, being a liar. So people have really cooled off on Megan. Now, here is Glorilla's hairstylist and friend, Barbie the Hair God. She took to Instagram and addressed Megan Thee Stallion fans because, like I said, they keep going in on Glorilla. So then she said, "Y'all hottie hoes weird and laced. Stream and buy y'all bitch music. Y'all don't do shit but help a bitch argue. Overly pathetic." She says, "Not gonna lie, I need that from bitches today." So she ready to fight. She ready to swing. And I don't blame her because Megan ain't the type of bitch to really stand on shit, and she gonna let it fester. But I know this video has gotten long, and we gonna continue to see how shit pop off. In part two of this video that I'm about to record right now, I am going to talk about why I would love for a rap battle between Glorilla and Megan the Stallion. I need that. I need that right now. So come and join me on my Inside Thoughts tier. This is a developing situation. It's going to be big, I think. At least we kind of hope, and not really for the drama perspective, because there is a potential to get a lot out of this, a lot of music. But once again, we have to understand that Megan is passive aggressive. So y'all hotties need to drag y'all bitch out of bed, and if that bitch got a problem, she need to come and speak on it and stand on it and do something about it, bitch. With your big ass. I don't even want to do all of that. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about this. Whose side you on? Team Meg, Team Glow? Why are they in this situation in the first place? Is Megan jealous, or is Glorilla doing too much and copying her style? You tell me. So I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see those of y'all who really want to get into what real rap should be about and talk about a potential rap battle. Come on, meet me on Patreon right now. Insiders, let's go.
It's your girl Vina Love, the Harlem Princess, your favorite princess, and this is Destiny Vila.
Period.